This is gonna sound so incredibly privileged. Yep, it is. And I know it is. I just quit my 6-figure job. With what backup? And that's the story that I want to tell people. It's the story that is yearning to come out of my mouth for clicks or something, or just like what I believe is supposed to be entertaining. But
hold on, let me go ahead and preface this video right now. Let me preface this video right now before we go deeper into this. I'm not here to bash her. I'm not here to attack her in any kind of way. All right. I'm just gonna give my commentary on this shit, whether I agree or disagree. All right. So just want to go ahead and make that clear.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hot. I think it's hot because I'm nervous. I'm probably realizing that I can't really talk about why I quit my 6-figure job. And it'd be dumb to name this why I quit my 6-figure job or whatever. The reality of it is I can't talk about why I quit my 6-figure job because currently it's a wound. And if there's one thing that I learned while I was there, it was never speak from a wound, only speak from a scar. Or I think it's the other way around. Never speak from a scar, always speak from a scar, never speak from a wound. Okay. And essentially what it means is that when you speak from a wound, you're speaking from something that still hurts when you touch it. So still hurts when you talk about it, still stings a little bit. And when you're in that state and there's a lot of emotion going through your body and going through in your brain and whatever is happening in that current circumstance, you might, one, just say things you regret, say things that aren't true, say things to make yourself believe a certain version of that story so that you can cope. Now, although being transparent is very important and very, that whole idea of authenticity and whatnot is being pushed and something that you should be doing, I also believe that there are things that need to maybe not be said. It's almost the beauty of the internet is that you can kind of pick and choose what you talk about and what you put out there. You can still be authentic by choosing the things that you will talk about. And so, yeah, you need to speak from scars, because when you speak from a scar, everything is healed over. There is no amount of prodding on that particular topic or thing that won't hurt. And you have come to your own conclusion and you have your own closure and you understand what it is and like where you sit in that situation. Yeah. And currently, I don't sit in that camp where I feel that I have my own closure in that situation and I know truly the benefit of my departure or what I'm going to do. So yeah, I quit my 6-figure job at a job that on paper I thought was perfect and it made sense and I was gonna like live the life that I wanted and have the career that I wanted. But at the end of the day, I think to touch on it lightly and to not go deep into talking about the whole experience or whatnot. I was chasing someone else's dream. And because I had too weak of a mind for myself at the time or when I was younger in the past, it was easier for me to attach my wants and dreams and desires to someone else's, someone that I thought I wanted to be, essentially. I think that makes sense. And I came to realize that there's a lot of things that you think you want to do, but you're just influenced to want it. You are influenced to want to have it. You're influenced to, yeah, that's it. Point blank. You're influenced to want to have things.
Yo,
and those biases occur.
you just rambling right now. Get to the point. I quit my 6-figure job. Okay, let's get to the whys. Let's get to the what made you want to do it. Let's get to the nuts and bolts. Let's get to it.
Without you noticing, you don't realize it. It's all very human because it's very hive mind and sheep and pack thinking, where you want to do what other people are doing because it feels safe, it feels right. And there's so many things that you get influenced to do, right? I can remember so many things in my life that I used to feel incredibly influenced to want. And, to this day, still get influenced to think that I want these things. One of them, for example, one that I'm kind of like pretty happy to talk about. Excuse me. Is the being influenced to want a family. Like, you see so many people post about their family and family content and how they look so happy, and it just looks like something that you might potentially want. And you're allowed to potentially want things. I think it's just being able to think through and making sure that the reason you want it isn't because you're influenced into believing you want it. It's because you actually want it, and it aligns with the things that you desire and you truly want and you truly want to prioritize. Oh my God. For example, a family, it looks great on paper, it looks great in content, it looks great in the life that kind of is portrayed around like the emotions that occur with having a family and whatnot.
Hey, bro,
but
listen, shorty, like you just rambling. Get to the point. No, like real talk. You just rambling. What's up?
But oh God, I don't know if this is cakey or not. Who cares? I'll come up with it. Anyway. But it's so easy to be influenced to think that you want that life. Of course it is, right? You see it all the time, like, and it's generations upon generations of people doing it. And so you think that is the right thing to do, that it's safe because you see the pack do it and you're influenced on wanting that. But really, when you sit down with yourself, and I, fortunately, I do understand that this kind of thinking or this choice, not just applicable to the scenario of having a family, but my ability to choose the things that I want in my life and the direction that I want in my life, I totally understand comes from a place of privilege, complete and utter privilege, because there's some things that you can't choose. And
I said this won't be a piece of content where I'm bashing her. Listen, Jody, I'm gonna need you to get to the point. I'm trying to get to the point, but I'm trying to give you a little grace in regards to allowing you to get your thoughts out before you get to the nuts and bolts of what you're talking about. We're talking about the money here. So I need you to get there. Why did you leave your job? Why did you leave your 6-figure job? To do what? Come on, man.
I know that I am lucky enough to be in a place where I get to make choices. So incredibly fortunate to be able to make choices. And it sucks that that is not the reality for every person. But speaking from a place of privilege, and what I'm trying to say is having the time to sit with yourself and your thoughts and dig deep. And it's going to sound so freaking woo-woo. I know it's going to sound so woo-woo. It's going to sound so like airy-fairy, yada yada, chase your dreams kind of stuff, which has its time and place and is very inspirational and is needed for some people. But You need to sit down and think, like, what is the actual priority that that thing or that choice you're going to make is actually going to fill, right? For me, if I look at having a family, there is nothing about having kids currently that fulfills a need or priority within myself, right? If I were to have kids, it would be because I feel the need to have kids, or I don't know, that all of a sudden had some weak thoughts about, not weak, I don't want to say it's weak, it is probably not the right word, but I had thoughts that had been influenced by an outside thing and didn't realize fast enough that it was an outside influence. So I know I don't want kids because I want the sense of freedom. I want to be able to do what I want to do selfishly and as it should be, selfish, as I should be selfish. This is my life. I selfishly want to be able to move and do things without the emotional labor that occurs when you have a child. And if I were to have a child, I would want to love them wholeheartedly and care for them. And I think that is what a child would deserve. Unfortunately, I'm just not, my priorities aren't straight, and my priorities, it's not even aren't straight. My priorities aren't aligned. To say that they aren't straight is to assume that I think that my priorities are wrong, which I don't believe that my priorities are wrong. I believe that my priorities aren't aligned. Prioritize, I guess that is is it this feeling of wanting to be maternal or showing care, or then are there other things from a mother to prove that? Does that make sense? You see that? It's not that bad. Hopefully it comes out ink all up on my top. As of now, my current mindset is that I don't want children. And if that changes down the line, I don't know, like I agreed with or happy with, I know that I took the time to know myself currently to have that conversation. But yeah, I think there's a lot of things in your life or in our lives, or I mean, my life, I don't know, you don't have to take anything I say at all, but that are just, you're just influenced to believe that you want it. You're influenced to believe that you want that thing, but you don't. Like when I started this content creation thing, I was influenced to believe that like I want like fashion partnerships, right? Because I thought that the people in fashion were mega cool, and I mean, who doesn't want to be a freaking Chamberlain, right? But on the path to trying to like figure that out for myself.
From what it seems like so far, it seems like she make a lot of decisions based off of her emotions. She claims that she has her shit together, but it don't seem like it. I'm gonna be 110% honest. I'm not bashing you, but this is just what I'm observing right now. And based off of this and what I'm seeing, you quit your 6-figure job to be happy. That sounds great on paper. That sounds great in theory. Now, fortunately enough, you don't have children. You don't have, anybody that you have to take care of. So that's good in that sense, right? That's good. But then who knows if you will ever have children? Who knows? We don't know. But just speaking on this right here, I don't recommend quitting your job. That goes to anybody. I get it. You want to follow your dreams. You want to get away from the rat race, all of this shit. But here's what I found out. If you don't know what the hell that you're going to be doing, if you don't know what the hell you're going to be doing once you quit that job, if you don't have nothing already planned, and I'm not saying go have another 9-to-5 job plan, or you don't have a focused plan in regards to what you're going to do once you're done, or you're just winging this shit, it's a bad idea. With the way that this economy going, the way that things are going, the way that things are changing so rapidly, that ain't the way to go at all. Cool. If you're doing it to create content, that's cool. But however, if you're not making enough money that is surpassing what you're making at your job, if you're not 5x or 10x of what you're making at your job, you don't need to quit your job. Continue to keep building, continue to keep growing, continue to keep readjusting and repivoting what it is that you're doing in order for you to get to that goal of, all right, I've 10x my income, so now I can really focus on doing this shit full time. If you haven't gotten there yet, ain't no reason to quit your job. So what it seems like to me so far is that she makes very emotional decisions, which then ties back into the what? Pay gap, the gender pay gap. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. You have women quitting their jobs. You have a lot of women not working as much as men. This is why that pay gap BS is a fallacy. Because again, if that were the case, if men technically did, if there was a pay gap and men were to get paid more than women, and this is a capitalistic country, correct? That means we want bigger margins, right? That means we want bigger margins to make more money because it's a capitalistic country. That would mean that you would want to hire more women because you pay them less, right? You want to pay them less. But they don't pay you less because there's a gender pay gap. They pay you less because a lot of y'all don't know how to negotiate for what your job is or what your job offers. A lot of you take time off. A lot of you quit your jobs. So there isn't no such thing as a gender pay gap. But let's continue to keep going.
Myself, like, it just wasn't me. It not even it just wasn't, like, it still is not me, and I still can't have the respect for those people and the people who do that, and understand that maybe actually that priority for me wasn't for me. It was for an idea of me that I was told would be cool. Now the problem is, like, no one is forcing you, or no one is telling you like this is cool. Or I mean, in some cases, no one's really telling you that these things are quote unquote cool, right? Like, I don't know, they're just like perceived that way and they make you feel that way, and then your brain does the thinking of the background thinking that tells you whether you want it or not. And I just think more of us and more people, take the time to hijack that system, hijack that reaction of want, not just for small wants, but for like specifically big wants. Hijack that system to figure out if that's truly what you want. Because imagine if I was, if I did convince myself I had a family, and I knew within myself that my priority is like freedom of movement, and the emotional labor that I'm willing to give currently is to my husband. Imagine I knew that, and then I had a family, and then I had kids, right? This is such a permanent decision that, like, I can't go back on it. I'd probably have to wait another, I don't know, 18 years until I go and achieve my passion again for creating freedom in my life, if that is the thing that I would continue to still want to do. But yeah, I'm not saying that people with kids don't live a life of freedom. That's definitely not the thing that I'm trying to say. I think what I'm trying to say is that, like, it just doesn't align to me, right? Like, you can want, I mean, simply put, you can have a favorite color. Your favorite color can be red and my favorite color can be blue, and they can both be correct.
All right, bro. She just rambling at this point. No, she dead ass just rambling. We're not even getting to the point. I thought you were going to be talking about you leaving your 9 to 5, but at the end of the day, you talking about happiness and what you believe, follow your dreams type shit. No. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I used to believe that. And I still believe it to an extent, right? I still believe it to an extent. But I think following your dreams, so to speak, comes from a place of you've done it all already. You've been out here, you made the money that you wanted to make, you've accomplished the things in life that you wanted to accomplish. So you're looking for something new. Now you can actually follow the dreams, right? Um, I can use Michael Jordan for an example, right? One of the biggest things that Michael Jordan did. Thank you. One of the things that Michael Jordan did, he went back and played baseball, right? That was like almost like a childhood dream of his, right? To go back and play baseball. But what was he great at? Basketball. He was great at basketball. That's what people remember him for. Basketball. Not his dream. Not his dream. And so I think that's just a personal thing. And so if you're making the bread, you making a 6-figure job, which is a job that most people would pretty much kill to have, why leave the job just all based off of your happiness? I'm gonna be honest, fuck your happiness, especially, man, if you're still young and you got a lot of things to accomplish in life. Fuck your dreams and goals right now, man. Focus on building, focus on growing, and focus on investing your money, dog. Once you have enough money to where you can sustain your lifestyle, not just have the money, but be able to sustain your lifetime, your lifestyle over a period of time, then you can actually be like, okay, well, now let me go put my efforts into this dream that I always had of doing, or whatever that may be. Because I have a dream too. I sound like Martin Luther King. That's funny. I want to own a multi-complex, right? I want to be able to own a multi-complex. That means with all different sports, football, basketball, hockey, soccer, things like that. And be able to have this entire building where you can train different players, different athletes in this one building, but it's all sectioned off based off of what you play, based off of the sport that you play. It's all sectioned off. I would love to open one of those up, but that's a dream to have. But I'm not gonna go do a dream in order to get the dream. I'm gonna do the things that I may not love, so to speak, but that's gonna give me the money that's practical to get, that I can reach easy, the low hanging fruit, to build that money up, to build that wealth up. So then I can go and invest into this entire multiplex, because now that's a dream I always had. You see what I'm saying? So I get it. I'm not gonna quit no job just based off of happiness. You pronounce LeBron wrong, bro. You funny as hell. You pronounce LeBron wrong, but no, that's how I look at this shit. Fuck the dream. Let's get the money right now. Fuck the dream. Get the money. Stack your bread up as long as you want. Then you can come on here and talk shit. But if you just quit a job just because you weren't happy there, man, fuck all that, bro. Fuck all that soft shit, man. We gonna get through it. We gonna leverage the job. Let me say it again. We're gonna leverage the job that pays the bills. We're gonna stack our bread. We're gonna extract as much money as we possibly can from the job, 401ks, IRAs, stock options, everything that we possibly can out of that job. And then we make our move. Because if you just think that it's just, oh, well, I'm gonna work here for years, man, listen, it ain't the same no more, bro. Back when we had warehouse jobs, when they had pitchings back in the day, when the warehouse job, nigga, having a good job was the warehouse jobs. We ain't got that no more. 2 to 3 years, you better be looking somewhere else. Because one of the two things need to happen. If you're going to stay at the company that you're at, you need to be figuring out a different department to go to in order for you to get your bread up. But also stacking up your skills, stacking up the projects. Why are you thinking that? Why are you sitting up there worrying about, oh, man, they just giving me extra work, man. See, I told you they don't care about me, bro. They're giving you extra work. You need to dial that in. You need to document that shit. Because these are new skills that you're learning, whether you think so or not. You think it's extra work, but it's more skills that you're learning. You become the expert, so therefore you use that to your leverage. So now when you're going to apply for a different position, or you're going to apply to a different department, they're going to ask you, what projects have you worked on? Boom, you got a long list of shit that you already worked on. More money, right? Or if you decide to take those same projects and you decide to go to a different company, guess what? You may have been getting paid $60,000 over here, but because you've gained all these skills and you've gained all this knowledge over here at this one company, and you take that over here to this another company, nigga, you about to make $20,000 to $30,000 more. So you go from 60,000 to 90,000 or 95,000 if you negotiate properly. And depending on the type of company, you may get some stock options too. But what you don't want to do is upgrade your lifestyle. The same lifestyle that you was living at that 60K, you maintain that same lifestyle. Don't go and buy a better car or more expensive car. Don't go and move. Don't go and start buying shit that you don't need to buy and running up your credit and running up the credit card. Nope. Stick to exactly what you've been doing. Act like nothing has changed. Bet and continue to keep investing your money. Continue to keep on putting money into your 401ks and your IRAs, and continue to keep letting that shit grow and grow over time. Do not level up the lifestyle. And then once you get to a point where it's like, all right, I'm 10x of what I'm doing, now I can leave my job comfortably and still maintain the lifestyle that I had. And then now you can focus on the dream. You feel me? So that's my thoughts on it. But hey, hopefully she figured it out. Hopefully she got everything. Hopefully she figured everything out and what it is that she's doing. But she need to go back to that job. That's a fact. But hey, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm.